Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shenanigans,
Sup?
where we open our plastic bags right in front of the microphone. It's fine. Where were we? Right! You've made it to Coxport, the big port town on Bear Drop Isle. It's built into a hillside, so it has sort of a natural amphitheater shape to it. The port is busy, has some large buildings on it. Everyone is hustling and bustling about, and it looks more busy than you've normally seen before. Actually, there appears to be some sort of grand event because the harbor is shy on ships and boats, but heavy on people. And there's all sorts of like merchandise being moved, all sorts of crates going back and forth.
Well, this is at least more exciting than the bar back in Berkshire.
Slightly.
Yeah. People are running around like chickens with their heads cut off all over the place.
I kind of look for a person, like harbor masters or people who kind of
Yes.
put all the people docking in a book or something to note them down.
You see this person, the harbor master.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, what can I do for you? Very busy.
Just a word. Have there
Yes.
been any attacks on the north side of the island recently?
I don't know. I'm harbor master here. I don't deal with the northern village problems. It's not my issue.
You deal with the people that are arranging transport.
Yeah, but everything's been taken up with the festival, so it's pretty confusing and complicated right now.
Festival for what?
The Festival of the Seamen?
Okay.
It's a big boat parade.
Okay.
Well, if I were to find someone whose crew is mainly occupied with transporting people, where might I find them? Because
Look, if the big festival's going on, everybody is out there to watch the festival. Yeah. Excuse me, and he pushes past you to go deal with someone who's like dropped a crate that's cracked open and is spilling out small flags all over the place, and people are running to and fro to catch the flags before they blow away in the wind.
So there's a big festival going on.
Apparently. Well,
Any ideas where we?
I mean, he said the north side of the island, so I guess we walk north.
Right, do we want to walk north?
Sure.
There are no roads on this island. We heard about bears dropping out of trees. And as valiant as we are in combat, we're only two people.
Well, listen. Bears aren't exactly the sneakiest thing in the world. I think it's going to be pretty obvious seeing like a giant black or white sphere sitting in a tree.
I mean, I've seen green bears before.
Where have you seen the green bears?
Do you remember where I come from?
No.
Barbarians. Silvers, you fool. Silvers.
Do you have green bears in Silvis?
Yeah, have you considered...
Apparently, Neal, we
Have you considered not feeding them Shrek pudding?
Feeding them what?
There was a Shrek promotion pudding.
Shrek pudding.
Yeah, completely green. Let me tell you. Yeah.
You know what? Maybe if this parade will go around the island. If we might make our way on it, a safe way across around the island, maybe something happens. Maybe they get attacked. All we know.
I kind of feel like
Looks around for another person to kind of ask about the parade.
Sure, you find there's lots of people. It's a very busy port.
Excuse me, about the parade, we heard there's this boat parade, ship parade, sorry.
Yes, yes, Festival of the Seamen. It's great.
Yes.
We do it every year.
The parade, where will it head? What's the heading of the parade?
They go back and forth across the mouth of the bay, just north of the island. Yep. Everyone goes out there on boats and watches the parade and watches the lights come up and lights go down and everyone splashes around. Yep.
When will it happen?
Well, they're setting up today. The parade doesn't start for another 2 days, but they're practicing right now. They're doing all their practice runs back and forth.
Excellent. Well, thank you. He goes back to Reen. So, you heard that, right?
Yeah.
Are you sure we should not charter just on a ship or boat towards the north? Do you really want to cross over land? Or are you afraid we will get attacked and sunk and you will... He kind of motions towards her armor.
Oh, I can swim.
You have plate mail, right?
Yeah.
In plate mail?
Yeah. I'm not encumbered. Technically, I can swim. Listen, I can do an extremely effective doggy paddle.
Well, that I believe you. All right. Well, what will it be then?
All right. Well, if you want to chart a boat, maybe we'll get some sticks chucked at us.
Let's look for like not a rowboat, like a fisher boat or something that goes north.
A small fishing ship. Yeah.
Let's get our bearings and head out.
You can charter this small fishing ship. The person who runs it is a young boy. He looks to be maybe not quite 20 years old, and he's standing proudly by one of the few boats left in the harbor, shouting for anyone want to go north? We got one more ship headed north.
Yes, here.
Two of you, lovely. We're headed north. We're gonna go watch the parade. You want to come on?
Sure, we have some business on the villages up north.
Fantastic. Hop aboard, hop aboard. You there, with the pointy ears. You look like a funny fellow. Where are you from?
Silvus.
Wonderful. Let's talk about Silvus on the way. Come on in. And you... Well, actually, let's talk about Silvus. I don't want to look again.
He takes one look at Doreen. He's like a hand wave at him.
And he keeps going. He looks back at Guathier and is just like, Silvus, huh? How do you get your ears so pointy? Do you trim them like dog's ears? Is that how you do it?
What?
I am not a human.
Well, I know. So
elf.
how do ears get their ears pointy? The elves. Do you trim your ears?
No, they
Do you
just grow that way.
Like you dock your tails? No?
They
Sir,
just
do
grow.
you cut dogs' ears?
Well, sometimes people dock dogs' ears. Yeah. The thing.
You.
Of course not. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
It is also quite barbaric.
Barbaric, bashmeric, whatever.
Anyway, no, our ears just grow that way.
Well, that is interesting. I would never have expected that. And what about all the long, golden, flowing hair? What do you use to get it so silky?
Well, actually, that is quite interesting.
Oh, no.
My hair is just superior.
You mean you don't use any product?
No. I mean, no, that would be actually damaging the hair.
Wow. That's runs contrary to everything I've ever been taught. I've heard that in order to keep your hair healthy, you have to put lots and lots and lots of products into it. Otherwise, it doesn't stay healthy. And if you don't put the more industrialized product in it, it gets worse.
Guafia actually has this... Oh. Ooh. So that is... I assume your hair is that such a lovely volume. Yeah, how much hair does he have on his head?
It's buzzed down.
Yes, yeah. Our hair is just all natural.
That's
You know,
amazing.
just a simple wash per day. Not even that much.
Do you wash your hair every day?
Well,
No wonder it looks so wonderful. You know, here I've been only washing my hair once a season, once a day.
Not that you have much to wash anyway.
Well, I keep it this way because it's easier to maintain, because it gets so messy and gross. If I knew washing it every day would keep it looking like yours, maybe I would wash my hair more often. Anyway, I don't think this is going anywhere. Do you guys have anything else you want to say or do with this fellow before you head out?
No, we don't need to kill him. He didn't.
Cool.
What? What?
Lice.
The guy's only embarrassing, not... I don't know what you think about him.
If he was one of the people that were, like, clipping dog's ears... Yeah.
Alright, I can't argue about that. That is...
Okay. Off you guys go towards the north to see the parade. He's so excited to show you guys the parade. He brings you up to around here-ish, and the small boat that he has to row the whole way. So it's a long journey. You know, you got to go 12 miles, but he's only rowing at like 4 or 5 miles an hour. So you're on this rowboat for a couple of hours with this guy who just won't shut up, and he's badgering you with about every sort of question you could possibly have about Silvus.
Yeah, just I'm alright about Silvus.
Oh yeah, so I hear it's all just a big forest up there. Is that true?
Well, yeah, well, yes, mostly.
Yeah, what type of trees do you have? Do you have fruit trees? Do you have evergreens?
Yes.
Do you have pre-annuals? Do you have pred-annuals?
Yes.
Do you have redwoods?
Yes.
Birch?
Yes.
Beech?
Of course, we have to say
Cedar?
certain areas only. Yes, we have those two. We basically have all kinds of trees.
You have all the trees.
It's Silvus.
Wow. What's your favorite type of tree?
Oh, that is difficult.
I know, there's so many good options, right?
Well, if I have to say...
Do you guys live in holes, or do you guys live in trees? Are you like dwarves?
Both.
You live in holes in trees, so you're like squirrels?
No,
or do you live in trees and holes, like nothing lives in a tree and a hole?
I like this guy.
We live in tree holes. We also shape trees to form homes.
So you are squirrels.
So you're big squirrels with pointy ears and feet. Do you have pointy feet?
Wait, why'd you have the feet? As if squirrels don't have feet.
I don't know. Do elves have pointy feet? There's all those like elven shoes that come to a point within the curl on top. So I wonder if maybe elven feet come to a point and then curl around up top. But it doesn't look like you've got curly shoes. Did someone dock your toes?
Wait, the shoes you are describing are either those are common human footwear.
Well, but they always wear them when someone's playing an elf on stage. So I just thought they were classical elven footwear.
Wow.
Dear Silver, who is doing our outer management or foreign management publicity work in Silvers anyway? God damn it, they are slacking on their job.
You guys have managers then. Wow, you sound pretty much like humans. Except that you live in trees like squirrels. And you have
we are also basically
toes.
mostly superior in most ways.
You keep using the word superior. What do you mean you're superior?
I mean, we are better in many ways. We live longer, we learn more, we are...
You learn more?
More agile. We are hardier.
If you learn more, how come you can't reach as high of level as humans?
You're not hardier.
How come your level cap is lower than humans' level cap if you can learn more?
That is an awfully specific knowledge for a fisherman.
Well, you know, I hear a lot of talk on the seas. A lot of people trade information.
But then again, humans don't have the same racial capabilities that we have.
Like what? Like what?
For example, humans don't get magic as their racial ability. They
Yeah, I don't think
also,
elves do either.
They do.
No, I don't think they do.
I literally can cast magic because I'm an elf.
Okay, I'll believe you, I guess, but I don't think all elves get it, right? You must just be like a
no, it
special
depends
elf.
on the type of elf, of course.
Okay, well, yeah, but you know, sometimes humans get weird shit too.
Like what?
All sorts of things.
For example?
We can learn spells
and
too.
powers.
Yeah, some people can learn spells innately. You know, some humans are just born with magic and they can just bow magic whenever they want.
That does not seem right. It seems like you could say an addition that does not exist in this world.
Also, I've got an interesting racial ability for being human.
Which one?
Oh, just the +1 to HP every level.
Wow.
He looks the other way as this comes up and just keeps rowing. Yep. Well, I guess if you want to say you're superior, that's fine. But I guess there's one thing humans have that's better than you.
And that is?
We're more humble.
I give you that.
Yeah.
Although it also depends on the elf, I assume.
So, if you live hundreds of years, do you have like hundreds of siblings? How do you remember all of their names?
Well, that is alright. One thing elves have, one problem. We are not as fertile as humans. So some see that as an advantage. You know, having too many people living for hundreds of years might generate a power balance, an upset of the power balance in the world.
Oh, I see. So you try really hard, but you don't get very far with your kids.
An ineloquent way to put it, but basically.
Well, here we are. Here's the Festival of the Seamen. He points out, and you can see on the horizon ships going back and forth. There seems to be some sort of like light set up where they've got like paper lanterns that are colorful, although it's hard to tell because it's still light out. And the lanterns are going up and down on the rigging of sails and everything, and the boats are going back and forth. And there's maybe 50 boats in the parade, and then another like 200, 300 watching the parade. Even though it's not even the appropriate day, it's not time for the parade. They're just watching the warm up.
All right, if you could let us out over there, and he kind of points towards the, beach.
I thought we were gonna watch the parade. I thought we were gonna hang out all day and watch the parade, guys. No?
I told you we have business in the villages here.
Oh, all right. Okay. Do you need me to wait for you, or should I leave you here? I'd really like to continue talking about elves and how different they are, but
you do not want to accompany us, so it's probably best you keep watching the rehearsals.
Okay. Well, he drops you off at a small village and parks the boat and stares out to sea.
All right. Let's see what these people can tell us.
Yep.
In the village, there are, let's see, it's a smallish village, maybe population 150, 200. Some people are looking at you quite curiously, since there's not a lot of visitors to this village that are unexpected. So they're staring out at you, looking, wondering, who are these people? What are they doing here?
Is there a person that kind of looks like there could be a village elder or leader?
Yes, there is.
Ah, you're there. You look like you're in charge here.
The elderly woman leans on her cane heavily and walks over to you. What can I do for you today?
Well, we happen to have...
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak more loudly.
God damn it, I didn't take ventriloquism. That would have been perfect. Well, we happen to have heard about some attacks out from the forest that happened nearby when people were trying to get over to Coxport via rowboats.
Oh, you're talking about the dead trees then.
The dead trees.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us more about it.
They've come back to life to haunt us. They're coming after us for turning them into ships, and they're angry.
So you have seen them move?
Seen them? It killed my husband.
My condolences. So, from where do they come normally?
What do you mean?
Direction.
Well, inland, not from the sea.
Yes,
Silly human.
are they coming from a specific direction or just generally the forest?
Just from the inland. You don't know that they're there until they're there. Except for old May's house. One of the trees in her yard came alive.
Who is old May? Yeah, is she around here?
She waddles over with you in tow to old May's house. Old May's sitting out on the deck, stitching together some cloth.
Greetings, madam. Are you old May?
I am, yes. What can I do for you?
By the way, Neal, are there only old people in this village?
You just happen to come across 2 old people. There's all sorts of people here.
Okay, hold on.
I just imagine this is a retirement home for Coxford.
We came across one old person. Of course, they're going to refer us to the other old person.
Of course, right?
Well, we've heard that the tree in your garden or yard came alive some while ago.
Oh, yes. You sure did, yeah.
I kind of look, there's no tree anymore there, right?
She points to a tree that's like right next to her porch. This one here, it moved. It used to be in the backyard. But then one day it got up and sure as the sun rises, it grabbed a feller and impaled him on a branch and moved right up here to the front yard.
And you just left it there.
She blinks at you like, well, would you expect me to do, Sonny?
I mean, most people would just cut down the tree.
She lifts up her frail old woman arms that are like as big around as a gold coin with all this flabby skin hanging off of it.
Well, I mean, not you personally, but the people around. Villagers would probably come together to help you. Why didn't you?
Oh, well, not everyone believed me. Sure, the tree was in one spot and then it was in another and there was a dead man in it, but, not everyone thinks the tree was alive.
Basically, no proof.
Not everyone believed me.
Well,
What is this accent, Neal?
It's just, I tried to go for Wisconsin and it's just kind of, it's bouncing around all over the place and it's not quite landing in Wisconsin, but we'll get there. I just need practice, okay?
Well, this does seem curious. Let's have a look then, shall we?
Sure.
He kind of, Guafir goes into the backyard and...
Well, no, the tree used to be in the backyard, Sonny, but now it's up here.
Right.
Look,
sorry.
I've been pointing to it right there.
Yeah, sorry, Neal. No, sorry. So
Yeah,
it's
but we want to see where it came from.
Oh, of course. Let's go.
So where did it was here? Where exactly was it?
Oh, don't you know? It was right here. She waddles around the back of the yard, skinny old woman, legs barely carrying her, going at a third of the speed that you would prefer her to go at. And there in the backyard is just a pit. It's like 3 feet deep and 5 feet wide, and it's just kind of whoop, whoop. It's nice and shallow and rounded.
Well, it's kind of. Does it look like a tree has been ripped out of the hole?
It could.
It basically doesn't look like a hole someone just dug up.
Yeah.
Because. Yeah. Okay. Well, then let's have a look at the tree. Then he kind of turns around and walks towards the tree. Not
You head back to the
exactly
front
next to.
and It's just a big tree. It's all dead, no leaves on its branches.
He kind of... Well, I do not need my sword for this, luckily. He kind of concentrates for a moment, whispers some words in Elvish, kind of waves over his eyes and casts Detect Magic, because at 4th level I got Detect Magic as a racial.
Yes, the tree radiates magic.
I have a 40% chance to... what? Oh, how strong? First of all, how strong?
That's the thing you get for Sherzies?
Yeah. Dim, faint, moderate, strong, or overwhelming.
It is moderate magic around the tree.
And a 10% chance per level. I count as a 4th level caster.
You do not get the level then.
So no school.
Yeah, you don't get the school.
Curious. The tree definitely irradiates magic.
Well, that's what I've been telling you the whole time.
Where are we in respect to the forest?
Oh, the forest starts just over there, Baze. Maybe a couple hundred feet.
That wasn't a OC question. Yeah. You're not an old woman.
Sometimes I feel like an old woman's my spirit animal. Or just an old person is my spirit animal.
That's alright. That's like the only other voice I can do. No, that's a zombie.
No, a zombie would be... As an old man trying to lift something. Anyway, where are we in comparison to the forest?
It's about 100 feet over there, don't you know?
Don't you know? I'm a leprechaun.
What?
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 You're a little bit slipping into Irish there.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. I'm working on it, alright? Practice makes perfect.
Canadian, Irish, Scotland. That when these women have been places.
She's been around the world.
God damn it, Robbo. People are just zombies without candies and this shit.
Wait, what?
Old
Nothing.
people are just zombies with hard candy and dishes.
I kind of, since the range is 60 feet and, 10 feet wide, and I have 8 minutes of this, so he just walks a little bit into the direction of the forest and just scans the tree line.
Yeah, there's another dead tree nearby that radiates magic. This one has small, budding green leaves on it, even though it's clearly a very dead tree.
Interesting. There's another. And it's only the dead trees that radiate magic.
It's only these 2 trees. There are other dead trees that do not radiate magic.
Okay. That one, I kind of point that out. Interesting. But I do not know what school. He says that to more to Doreen. They're definitely magic. He kind of goes up to the tree that has some greenery on it. If it's a tree and... He
Mr. Trent?
He speaks in... At first he starts in common. Okay. Can you hear me? Or understand me, even? He kind of says to the tree. At the tree line. No reaction?
No reaction.
He says the same in Elvish.
Nothing.
So they are either pretending, or they are passive, or they are not intelligent after all. Any ideas, Doreen?
No. I've heard treants can make other trees become alive.
So you think this might be it?
Well, I don't know if there's just like a magical residue left over from them being like animated into other living trees temporarily.
I kind of go back and ask the old mate, do you know how old your tree is here?
Oh, why? I think it was my great-grandfather who planted this tree here when we were had just moved here from fictional Sweden, and he planted the tree here when they first land on this land, and it was the tree that I grew up playing in. Don't you know? We used to have a tree fort up in the top when I was a little kid.
Do you know anything about that dead tree over there? Actually, the one that is growing that is sprouting some leaves. It's quite curious.
Do you see this pun Rob made in chat? It's the best.
What is it?
You should negotiate some sort of non-aggression pact with the Ents. An agreement. A treaty.
I tried to ignore it.
I live for moments like this, guys. It's the highlight of my day.
No, Rob, why don't you join the game? And if you can make puns and chat.
Last time his entire system was killing itself.
But yeah, I kind of ask about the dead tree that is actually sprouting some leaves.
Oh, that one, yeah. I don't spend a lot of time looking at the trees. I can't, since that tree is not in my house, I don't know. But oh,
what else do you have to do
Jenna, come over here. We've got travelers. They want to know about the tree behind your house. Come here, Jenna.
This is another old woman.
Another old woman comes on over.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, May, how are you doing today? Oh, Jenna, things are going quite fine, don't you know? We've got these travelers coming. They want to know all about your trees. Oh, the trees behind my house. Oh, sure. I can tell you about the trees.
And this is where Doreen faces the real fear of life. Growing old.
Aging, the real terror. I think this is going to be the first episode where I just annoy the players enough that they kill every NPC in sight.
We actually could, Neal. We actually could.
Forget the trees. Let's help them kill the town.
This is where Doreen turns taking over a road.
It's like, they also kind of look like men, actually just disguised as old women. And
No, they're lovely old ladies. They've all just bobbed their hair. It looks great. And now that you're tuning back into the conversation, somehow they've moved away from trees to the hairdresser in town, who's opened the latest salon. Oh, but she always speaks in Elven, and I never know what she's saying. It always feels like she's maybe talking behind my back to the other workers. Oh, isn't it a weird thing? Humans speak in Elven all the time. It's a bizarre thing, and I really wish they wouldn't speak. They'd speak more common. I don't like how they're always speaking in their weird foreign languages. Oh yeah, Jenna, it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing.
So you have an Elvish hairdresser in town?
Oh no, she's a human, but she just speaks Elven. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, you're an elf too, aren't you? Come here. Look at those cute ears. Let me just rub them. Oh, aren't you a sweetheart?
You know what? He knows etiquette, so he will allow it. Just this once to not offend an old lady.
Yeah, she grabs your ears and rubs them and pulls on the points a little bit. Aren't you the cutest thing? Oh, how old are you, little one?
Isn't it? It is. Isn't it kind of rude to ask someone their age?
Oh, but that's only rude if you're asking someone old. And you look like a spring chicken. You're the picture of vigor and health, aren't you?
Yeah. Goffia kind of looks at his character sheet at the 8con. Yes. Though I am pretty sure that I'm older than you.
Oh, don't be silly. I am 75 years old, and I've been here a long time, and I'm positive I ain't ever seen anyone as handsome and healthy looking as you that could be possibly older than me.
I'm WH.
Double my age? Oh, you're so cute. Do you know my grandpa, then? His name was Jiminy. And he lived here on this island, and he planted the first trees when we got here. And did you meet him ever? Have you ever seen him? How about my dear old pa? Did you ever run into him during your days?
He did not have a last name called Cricket, did he?
Cricket. No. His name was Crikey.
No, I've never met him, but you said he planted the trees.
Oh yeah, he was an arborist. He loved the trees. Always said he wanted to be an elf. Don't you know?
Do you know which trees he planted? Exactly.
He planted all the trees in the village. They were a big favorite of his. In fact, when this village was first founded by all of our grandfathers around here, they all planted the trees. They were all fruit trees to begin with, and some pretty ones over there, and some cedars over there for making into ships and everything. And yeah.
So, where does that hairdresser live?
Oh, don't you know? She lives down by the bay. Here, come on. We'll show you to the hairdresser's place. Come along, ladies. And
I love like everybody just zones out until it's like, oh, this might be important information actually. Like, what?
No, don't you know it's our fucking game.
Don't worry, Neal. I won't kill the old ladies. Guafier's not that.
Oh, please kill the old ladies! I can't keep this up forever. You get to the hairdressers.
You have to ask Nick for that.
You get to the hairdressers, and it's a middle-aged woman and a young girl.
Yeah, it's not an old lady. So.
Anyway, what old May brings you to them and says, Jenna, we got some out-of-towners and they're here for some questions for you. They want to know about your elven and where you learned how to do it. Would you mind telling this fine, real version of an elf here? I felt his ears and everything. He's totally a real elf. Would you mind telling him? But he might know Grandpa, actually. He's been around for such a long time. They're here to talk about your elven and about the trees. So, why'd you want to know about her elven anyway?
Well, it is quite unusual to meet a human that is talking a lot of elven.
And the woman smiles and nods and says in pretty badly broken Elvish, greetings! Welcome to my island.
Like, let me make a charisma check to see how Guafier kind of can hide the reaction to the very, very broken Elvish. There's like, you see the little spasms in his face when he kind of hears that, and like his ears twitch for a moment. Like, you know, yes, greetings. So I hear you can speak Elven quite good.
I practice often, but I know speak well.
Where did you learn it?
I learnt Elvish from tutor. My tutor. Tutor of me.
My tutor is correct. Who?
She kind of blinks a few times and then turns her head and looks at old May, and then looks back to you and goes, Old May taught me.
He kind of turns around in Elvish. You taught her Elvish.
Elvish? Oh, that's a wild one, won't you know? I don't speak any Elvish at all. I'm just a simple old woman.
He kind of turns back to the hairdresser. Kind of asks Elven, what is going on here?
I learnt Elven from Old May. She taught me, and then she forgot.
Because she is an old woman?
She forgot Elven.
Huh. Anyway, and he switches back to common.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that information. So, He kind of looks at Doreen. So what will we do here? Some of the trees at the edge of town are definitely magical, and as I said, probably able to move. Something about that ancestor grandfather planting trees sounds somewhat important.
Could be. Could be. I don't know.
Anyway, he kind of turns to old mate. Why are all the trees dead around? Or many of them?
Oh, well, maybe someone as fancy as you who lives so long doesn't understand. But all living things come to an end eventually. And even the trees grow old and die, don't you know?
How many trees are actually old, like dying around
Well, I don't know about you elves, but our lives are so short, and we're so much shorter than the trees that we don't go about listening and trying to measure the age of every tree. You know, we'd have to chop them down and count the rings and everything, and then they wouldn't be there anymore. Perhaps we could start taking yearly markers and counting the trees and counting how old they are. But that seems very unfit for something like... I don't really understand why we would want to do that. Is that how you do things out in Elven territory? You know how old every tree is? I bet you name every tree too.
Okay, Neal, that... Coming back an OC question. How many of the trees are actually look dead around here?
Oh, you just glance around? A minority of trees.
Okay, I thought it was like a lot of them.
No, it's a small minority of trees.
Okay. Well, interesting. So we have the episode. God damn it. I'm looking for any leads here. Like,
Oh, there's so many leads. I've given you so many leads already, and it doesn't seem like you're following up on any of them.
So tell me more about your grandfather. He planted a lot of these trees around in town, yes?
Good old Jiminy planted so many trees.
These attacks by the moving trees, when did they start?
Well, the tree near my house moved not 3 weeks back. Yeah, just around the time of the new moon, the trees moved and picked up a person and impaled him on a branch and left him there dying in my yard.
And did it happen before then? Other trees?
Oh no, that's the first time it happened here.
And you haven't heard of other villages encountering the same
we don't
problem?
get out very much, you know. We're just little folk here, content with our lives in this new little village of ours. What brings you to New Sweden anyway?
Well, we heard of from some sailors who were attacked, apparently by those trees.
Well, you know what they say about sailors. They got loose lips, and they sink ships, and they'll talk to anyone, and they sleep around, don't you know? They go from port to port, and they're filthy mouths, and they're filthy liars.
Well, there's one last thing I have to check. And he goes back to the tree of Old May. And he casts no alignment.
On the tree?
The tree is definitely magical. And if it's a creature that has an alignment...
Let me just take a look at the no alignment spell.
There is a save versus spell.
Viewership is slowly dropping as the old women just keep rambling on, and I'm okay with it. I'm so okay with it.
Help me here. I can't carry this episode. Well, and I don't want to murder the village.
I'm probably just gonna start setting fire to trees.
Unaligned object. Unaligned objects feel... Alright. Yeah, so you cast a no alignment on the tree, and it's evil. Oh god, it's so evil.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's so evil.
Wow. Oh, right. This is an evil tree. Wow. Evil.
Oh, I could have told you that from day one. I told you twice already now. It killed the man.
It could have been a neutral tree, something commanded, just an object animated. But wow, that's an evil tree. Wow.
All right, Neal, how close is this tree to her house?
Oh, it's like right next to her porch. There's no way you can burn down the tree without also burning down her house.
Do you have an axe, a wood chopping axe nearby?
Yeah. Sure, you betcha.
All right, Doreen, if you want to do anything. Does she come back like this old woman carrying this giant wood cutting axe with her feeble arms like
She brings the axe nearby, kind of dragging it in one arm behind her as she walks.
I just quickly go grab the axe before she dulls it on the ground.
Oh, thank you, honey. You're such a sweetheart. Here, have a hard candy.
Like one of Doreen's hands takes the heart. Can you just vanish inside the coat?
Her eyes are so bad she doesn't realize Doreen's wearing a coat of hands. It's just kind of like blurry to her.
I do not use the hands just randomly. They're always appear dead until used.
I just assume like the hand grabs the heart candy and goes back into the coat and you hear just this crunching noise.
Oh, no. No, I wanted the fucking hard candy. The hands can't have them.
Do you fight with your hands about over
No,
food?
they're my undead. I just take the hard candy. Anyway. All right.
What can I help you with there, gentlemen?
You probably should step back.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't cut the tree down. It provides so much good shade for my yard and my porch, you know.
It is an incredibly evil tree.
Oh, it hasn't killed anyone in days, though. I think it's okay.
If a murderer does not murder another victim in a few days, does not make them any less of a murderer.
Well, I'm real big on forgiveness, you know. Well, you gotta forgive people and move on. Otherwise, how are you gonna live in this life? But I suppose the elf knows best when it comes to trees. Maybe trees can't be forgiven. All right. Go ahead, cut it down.
Also, Guafio would also take some steps back because he will not deal with. He's not going to stand next to a really evil tree when it's being chopped with an axe.
Yeah. So.
All right. Whenever you're ready,
I'll take a swing.
You begin chopping down the tree, and we're gonna go to our second break as the axe thwacks into the tree.
And the tree shivers and it cuts to black.
We'll see you guys on the other side of the break. Bye-bye.